Introducing Joe Pronto and Jay Nice. It's a new agenda.
New agenda. Welcome back, y'all. Season 2, episode 2, new agenda. As you can see, your boy Joe Pronto right here, and I got some special guests with me, which we'll introduce to y'all shortly. But yeah, Jay Nice, welcome back.
I'm here, man. Your boy Young Nice, you heard? Make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Like my man said, we got the fellas here, man. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Right. So to the right of me right here, we got my guy Slick D. I mean, youngest coming out, recent graduate, got a couple businesses going in reference to his clothing line and some production as well. So give him your info, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it for having me. Yeah, you can follow me at exclusiveboyd_ on Instagram, and that's it. That's all I'm on. But got a new clothing brand out called Extra Sauce the Brand. So follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Let them see the back. Let them see the back of the shirt. The back of the shirt. I said Extra Sauce. I mean, they got a couple designs popping.
Yeah.
Definitely check them out.
Hit our website too, www.extrasaucebrand.com, and that's XTRSAUC brand.com.
Thanks. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my guy Slick D right here to the right of me. He's gonna give us a little bit of insight on today's topic as well. Across from me, we got my lifelong friend, brother, Stefan Spade. You know what I'm saying? Introduce to the people yourself, I mean.
Man, thank y'all for having me. Happy to be here. What's up, people?
He been ducking the suit. We've been trying to get him on the show for a minute, you know what I mean? So
we here, we outside. So happy to be here with everybody, man.
Definitely. So that's how we're gonna kick off season 2, y'all. Alright. So today's topic, we're gonna be discussing the Mike Tyson series that's been coming out. So it's part 1 and part 2. Part 2 aired earlier this week, and we're gonna jump into part 1, just giving a brief introduction and some of the things that kind of happened here. And I think this documentary is well put together and much needed for Mike for us to understand Mike over the 30 plus years he kind of been in the game.
Right. Definitely. You know, that was a classic Mike Tyson video, you know what I'm saying? Document. I mean, there's a lot of them out there, but this one like kind of went in depth and showed you why he's the person he is today,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right, and shows that transition. Yep, so early on, they kind of focused in part 1 on his early childhood, and he grew up in Brownsville, but seems like it was just like the slums of the slums, and he was able to make it out. And early on, that kind of built to his uprising and also ultimately his demise as well, but then capitalizing on that later on in his life and just turning everything around. So one of the things I really didn't know about was the pigeon incident. So he was on the roof, and as everybody knows from before, like Mike was really into the birds. You know what I'm saying? And then he got bullied into a position where somebody snapped one of his bird's neck. It snapped the bird's neck off, had the blood everywhere, and it was 3 of them. And Mike was in a fight or flight situation and really just took on all 3. And that's what they say is like the ultimate time where he really turned into Iron Mike. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's definitely.
You never know what you're gonna do when you're back. Put against the wall or whatever.
Right, but up to that point he wasn't really aggressive though. That's the thing. That's the crazy thing about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shit, Mike traumatized, man. Mike,
right.
You know what I mean? Like watching that, you know, he been through a lot, which, you know, a lot of people have, but you definitely see how it affected him in the ring and outside.
Exactly. And so building up to that kind of led to him, you know, kind of hanging around the wrong crowd, going to different juvenile centers, and then ultimately at that one of those juvenile centers, he got introduced into a boxing program by the guy Teddy that pretty much became a lifelong friend early on, but so they had like a falling out and stuff like that. But
that's when Mike started putting hands on people.
Right. That's how it goes, man. Listen, you got that taste of blood. Oh, all right, listen. If I can take on all 3 of them, I'm respected now.
Channel that anger and all that energy. You know what I mean?
Right. But I feel like that's a lot of kids' situations nowadays. Sometimes like they don't really want to have to be that person, but if you're in that environment, that's the difference between like the inner city. You know what I'm saying, and then white America. You know what I'm saying? White America looking at him like, oh, he's the greatest fighter, but he been through some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like mentally, you know, then
white America turn their back on him as soon as he get in trouble.
Right. Exactly. As soon as y'all see the monster y'all wanted to see try to create, you know, now it's a bad thing, you know, so that's definitely how it goes. But they get into his family background as well. Him eventually being raised by Castellano, who helped groom him into being a fighter that that he ultimately was. But what do you think about their relationship as far as like, was it, you think he really wanted to see Mike succeed or he wanted to capitalize off of him?
I think a little bit of both, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, because to accept somebody in your home, like, you know what I'm saying, you still got to have some kind of, you know,
agenda.
Agenda. But he, at the same time, he giving somebody a place, you know, a chance to change their life, too.
Right.
I mean, of course, you help somebody out, you going to want your cut. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. But you can see early on, like, I remember one specific scene, the guy was telling a story about Castellano, him being introduced into Ted. And he was saying that, how old do you think that kid is over there? And the guy was saying like 20, 24. But he was like, he's 12 years old. And I'm like, damn, so he saw something in him to where he knew he could groom him to make, you know, the perfect fighter.
So that raw Mike.
Right. Yeah. Imagine seeing him at 12 years old, you know what I'm saying? And you know what you already did with other heavyweights.
He's probably like fighting like grown men in that joint, bro, man. Like,
he was a big kid. He was a big kid. So, I mean, I can't even imagine seeing Mike. And then they early on, they were saying how when he first was taught those early techniques, how he stayed up like until midnight, 2 in the morning, just practicing because he was so intrigued by it.
Watching film too.
Yeah, watching film. That's the thing. So he ultimately brainwashed him into becoming a champion. That's what I think for Mike. But I think he just wasn't able to live long enough to prepare for the after, you know, everything that comes with it afterwards. And that's the part that where if he would have had a better team around him, he would have transitioned into better superstardom. I think so. Yeah.
yeah, no, I can completely see that. Like, part of which I guess we'll probably get into later, but a lot of the drama he went through, it's like, oh, he ain't have like an OG.
Right, around him, yeah.
Yo, watch out for this, watch out for that.
And this the 90s too. This early on. This before like social media, a lot of stuff got exposed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't
he
just be out
it.
here doing, you know what I mean, this or that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You
But
like
I think-
Tyson now.
Right,
A lot of people were scared of
boxers learn
Tyson.
that shit,
man.
though.
A lot of people were scared of Tyson. Though.
Right,
I can't see too many
Tell me
people.
what it is.
Yeah.
You said what, Mike? Yeah, Mike.
Who would tell Mike no at that time? Like, he didn't really care. He'd put hands on anybody. He
Like, this nigga got a tiger. Like, I would have been like, come on, Mike. Let's think about that.
Like, Mike, you know they got dogs, right? Yo. Shit. Nah, definitely. Like, who? Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you have to have somebody that be able to tell you no. You know, like you can't have a whole bunch of yes men around you.
It's a fact.
And I think that's what it was. But also at the same time, who was really that young getting that kind of money from his environment? You see what I'm saying? He already thinking he not gonna live past 30. You know what I'm saying? So they get that money young. And then to be able, like, the hood embraced them too, though. That's the thing. Yeah. Like, it was a lot of love early on.
Right.
So that could go to your brain too. Like, I'm getting a lot of love. I'm winning. You know, and the hood loved me on top of that too. I could go out there. He wasn't going out there with no security. Yeah, he was going out there in Rolls Royce by himself. You know what I'm saying? And everybody
passing out money and shit.
Yeah. So that's crazy. And I never really thought about the impact that he had as big as it seemed. Like the biggest thing that I can relate to that is maybe like Mayweather to an extent, but it's a different type of character person though. So back then it was really the real deal. Yeah. But so what do I think about the Robin Givens interview, like the behind the stories? Because that's like to me that's like the peak of that second part or that first part one, the Robin Givens interview behind the scenes, and then on top of that, their breakup.
I think that was the start of the ending, man. Once that Robin Givens shit came out, it seemed like everybody was trying to take advantage of him, man.
So even like, so to recap what happened in the Robin Givens interview, is basically Mike was given an interview to pretty much change his narrative, change the perspective of how the media looked at him. And during the interview, him and Barbara Walters are talking, and everything's kind of going good. He's showing them the house. He's showing how him and Robin Givens get along. They outside cuddling, and then out of nowhere, she come in while they sitting on the couch and just basically like, nah, everything is not peaches and cream how Mike is kind of portraying it to be. And then from that, she just starts going in and saying, well, he hit me, he gets physical and stuff like that. So do y'all think that was the right place?
No, hell no. Hell no. Hell no, yo. That's some shit we talk about off camera. Like,
right.
On, yo.
I mean,
She knows. I mean, to me, I can't say what was going on in their house, but she's a good actor too. So she knew exactly what she was doing in front of them cameras, yo.
But my thing is, if that was the case, if you felt some type of way, why didn't you just stop the interview?
Right.
If you felt he was lying, rather than come on and blast it in front of the whole world, because now that's detriment both of y'all careers too. Even it could have. It turned out to be the truth though. I think it did, from what Mike had admitted. So I understand that, but I just think it wasn't the right place and time.
Nah,
you know,
hell no. You're
me.
supposed to be my wife. Like, you crazy as shit.
Right. But to me, that ultimately hurt her career also, because she always had like that negative energy around her name, you know, like that kind of stigma. But she wound up getting paid, you know, for whatever she had to encounter too. So that's one of the things. But yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much wraps up part one. Also, part one, they kind of get into Mike becoming himself. So it's like the peak of his career where part one kind of ends, and then it continues in part two.